Thanks so much for joining us today. We're all thrilled to be here. The weather clearly cooperated. It's like the perfect day to be on the water in Boston, so thanks for coming out. My name is Kimberly Sherman Stamler. I'm the president of Related Beal. I'm joined today by Mayor Marty Walsh and Secretary of Transportation Stephanie Pollack, as well as all of you who played a pivotal role in helping us turn a long, dilapidated, and underused parcel into a thriving waterfront community. Thank you, Mayor Walsh and Secretary Pollack. Today we stand in a great public space of Lovejoy Wharf, on which we worked with a number of city and state agencies to develop, all of whom we'd like to thank in making our vision a reality. These great agencies include the BPDA, and we're joined by Brian Golden, Heather Campuzano, Sarah Meyerson, Rich McGinnis, the City of Boston, including Austin Blackman, who's here today, the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs and its agencies, especially DEP and DCR, the Boston Parks Department, MassDOT, and the Massachusetts Convention Center Authority. We're also joined by Anissa Asabi-George. Thank you for coming out today. It's great to have so many people here who helped make this vision a reality, to celebrate this transformational development with us together. This project, if you look around, the wharf, Converse's headquarters, residences, the archway, the activated waterfront, the soon-to-be ferry. This project is an example of what Boston and the Commonwealth do so well: realize opportunities and come together to achieve shared goals. This project went from not used at all to where we are today: homes, offices, retail, waterfront public space, and transportation opportunities. Everyone thinks about all of these things all the time, and the city and state teams come together to make it happen. Thank you. It was only 5 years ago that Lovejoy Wharf did not look like what it looks today, and we have in back a poster of what the project looked like when it was not operational, when the Harbor Walk here wasn't operational, and I do encourage everybody to look for it because it's a fairly short period of time that the change was made. The buildings on this site that stood on this site were dilapidated. They were out of use. The waterfront that everyone is traversing today was closed to the public, and this patio was a concrete slab used for auxiliary parking. Yet when we looked at the site, a site that welcomes everyone into Boston and showcases how much this area has changed since the Big Dig, we saw tremendous potential. We envisioned a multi-use development that combines the office, retail, lifestyle, residential opportunities, capitalizing on what this great neighborhood has to offer while adding complementary uses. We saw a great public realm opportunity and great transportation access and opportunities. Our renovation of the Hoffman Building next door attracted one of the world's most iconic brands in Converse. Converse brought hundreds of new jobs to the city, along with economic activity and vitality. And in building these buildings, we created hundreds of construction jobs along the way. Today, we realize the next phase of our vision as we open Lovejoy Wharf's 157 waterfront condominiums and offer a brand new public access in this passageway here to the waterfront. Designed by Robert A.M. Stern Architects, Lovejoy Wharf welcomes people to Boston and to the waterfront. With an homage to the city's historic architecture and waterfront heritage, the building not only revitalizes the waterfront and adds much-needed housing to the city's roles, but offers a new level of premium urban living and connectivity right here in our city. As we continue to connect areas of our city, Lovejoy Wharf is no exception. The property's convenient location provides residents and all users with a thriving live-work-play experience, minutes away from the garden, award-winning restaurants, exceptional retailers, and popular fitness studios. It also completes the Harbor Walk through this grand stone archway with great views across the water. We love that from Lovejoy Wharf you can stroll the harbor, which wasn't previously possible, for drinks in the North End or Charlestown, walk up Causeway Street to dinner, head to shopping in Beacon Hill. The Green and Orange lines will drop you in the Financial District or Back Bay within minutes, and the Downeaster can get you to the beach in Maine in 2 hours, although today you don't need to be in the beach in Maine, you can be right here. Soon you'll be able to take the ferry from our waterfront here to various points in Boston. We are thrilled about Lovejoy Wharf. This incredible waterfront location was a core component of our vision, and I know an important issue for Mayor Walsh and Governor Baker. We're so proud of the revitalization of the wharf and the access that it now grants to the public of this rarely before view of Boston Harbor. We look forward to seeing our new residents, our retail customers, our neighbors from Converse, and Boston citizens taking advantage of this waterfront every day. I would now like to introduce Mayor Walsh. Mayor, not only have you set an ambitious agenda for creating housing in the city, you've put together a public team at City Hall who are willing to roll up their sleeves, work together, and to achieve goals like the one we are at today. You work hard for creative solutions for the city's unique challenges, and we thank you for that. Thank you for being here today and for your commitment to shaping Boston and its future success. Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you. I want to thank Kim and her company, Related Beal. I have to say this, I've said it more than one time. They're a great company to work with. When a development's come in front of a neighborhood, they answer every question you ask them. They're pleasant to deal with, and they're great. I don't think I can say it better than Kim said today about this particular neighborhood. So, Kim, congratulations today on today. Secretary Pollack, I want to thank you as well, and the governor for the great work you do. This is a partnership. This project, and it went on for a while. Well, it didn't start under my administration or the Baker administration. It started before us under Menino and Patrick, but we kept it moving through as it went on. So this is kind of a great collaboration to show how it works. I want to thank the Convention Center, DEP, DCR, Converse, Boston Harbor Now, and most importantly, all the residents of the West End. Thank you for the great what you do every single day, and thank you for this. As Kim said, Lovejoy Wharf is a transformational development, unlocking this neighborhood or reconnecting this neighborhood, if you will, to the West End and to Boston. It's given new life while benefiting housing. Certainly workforce, as we talked about Converse, and having Converse's headquarters here is important for the city of Boston, and I don't know if it's their flagship store, but I'm going to say it's their flagship store. It's the only place you can go and get sneakers with the Freedom Trail on the bottom, is this one right here. The public space, certainly. I remember when this was parking lots. I remember going to the old Boston Garden, trying to park my car here when they weren't collecting money, trying to beat the system as I went into the old garden. And really, when you think back on those pictures, how different this whole area is now, it's absolutely incredible. And access to the waterfront. Most of us remember what it looked like, as I said earlier. What's happened here really is incredible. In this part of town, and you often hear people talk about, what's going on in Copley, what's going on in Downtown Crossing, what's happening in different areas. It's the Fenway area, but right here in this little neighborhood, it's been done with such class that as housing has been built or workspaces have been built, it's always also been built for the community to come and enjoy the area around here. So again, I want to congratulate all of you for what we're doing here. Lovejoy Wharf represents 157 new homes for Bostonians. Projects like these helps us stay ahead of schedule to meet our housing goal of 53,000 units by the year 2030. We're committed to increasing the available stock of high-quality housing across every income bracket in our city. Lovejoy Wharf helps us accomplish that. Related Beal has made a voluntary contribution to Beverly, which is 100% affordable workforce housing. And the Beverly is right down the road. It's an investment that certainly helps our economy thrive and helps our business community stay diverse. This is also one of the first things commuters and visitors see in our entire city is they're coming into our city here. It's beautiful welcoming them, and the design pays tribute to the land and its history. It certainly, as I said earlier, it puts neighborhoods back together. The West End, Charlestown, Seaport, North End connects to all those neighborhoods together, so people can understand, so people can get around those different neighborhoods. Last thing I want to say, this is a LEED Gold environmental design building, which makes Austin Blackman, my chief of energy, really, really happy in the city of Boston. So thank you for that, for doing that. And again, thank all of you for coming here today. Everyone that had something to do with this project, thank you. Thank you, whether you built it, whether you designed it, whatever you did. But for the community, thank you for putting up with a lot of changes in this neighborhood over the last, say, 10 years or so. You've been incredible with that, and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Walsh. I'm happy now to introduce Massachusetts Secretary of Transportation Stephanie Pollack, who oversees our transit system at a time when connectivity and accessibility are more important than ever. So thank you, Secretary Pollack. Thank you for joining us today and for all of your efforts to improve and run our public transportation system. Secretary Pollack.
Thank you. So thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be in this beautiful spot on a beautiful day. On behalf of Governor Charlie Baker and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito and the Commonwealth, I'm pleased to be here at the ribbon cutting for the newest residential building in the city of Boston and the critical public access to the waterfront that it provides through this beautiful passageway. You know, some but not all of us here today remember a very different spot with an elevated central artery, with an elevated green line, with the old garden, and how loud it was in there. You know, the first part of the transformative work was the change in the transportation system to depress the central artery, to take down the elevated tracks, rebuild the green and orange line and commuter rail stations. But the work isn't finished until we've replaced what used to be transportation infrastructure with places for people to live, work, and play. And so MassDOT and the MBTA are always delighted to be part of many of the real estate projects that are going on in this part of town. The mayor mentioned the Beverly, which is a terrific project, also on land owned by MassDOT. That is going to be 100% workforce housing, where we were able to work with the city, the developers, and Federal Highway to make sure that that was an acceptable use of land that once was home to transportation infrastructure. So MassDOT, the MBTA, the Commonwealth, the governor, and lieutenant governor were all committed to the construction of housing for everyone, and to having that housing be in locations that it's easy for people to get wherever they want to go. And this location, with the green and orange line and commuter rail, with future water transportation, with great pedestrian amenities, is a perfect spot to showcase the idea of transit-oriented development and the results that can occur when the community, the developers, the city, the state, when we all work together, we get to celebrate on days like today. We've been delighted to be part of this partnership, and we look forward to many more such partnerships in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary Pollack. And in closing, I just want to reiterate and echo what Secretary Pollack and what Mayor Walsh said. And looking out at everyone here today, the city, the state, the neighborhood associations, we're all touching on key issues here: housing, commercial activity in the city, public realm, transportation, access, renovation, connectivity. We are so thrilled as a company at Related Beal to be part of the partnership with all of you to achieve this goal and to realize the vision that is now here today. So thank you to each and every one of you. We look forward to cutting the ribbon, and thank you, everybody.